productive Monday and an outstanding Tuesday. I am in a position where internet may be an issue, so I'd like to ask our hostess, Tasha Dyer, to be very cognizant of any situations I have where I lose internet so that you can let me know, just so that I'm aware. So either unmute and let me know that put it in the chat. So I'd like to welcome everyone to a talk with the finance doctor. I literally get excited every few days that I get the opportunity to address this conversation, that I have an opportunity to discuss this, that I have an opportunity to talk about how excited and appreciative I am for this iMarkets Live opportunity. So this hour to me means a lot for two reasons. Number one, because of how excited I am, but number two, because I feel like it's an opportunity for me to be able to pour into you, to provide some information, to provide some direction, to provide anything that would help your journey in this position, in this situation, be better. So I'd like to welcome our guest here. Welcome to this call. And let me briefly explain that a talk with the finance doctor and RX for FX is simply for Forex is simply a scenario where I get the opportunity to talk about the 25 years plus that I've had in the finance industry and to talk about how it relates to this outstanding opportunity that IML presents. So the best way for me to do this is to tell my story, but I do want you to understand this. This is not a talk from the finance. So I'd like to encourage everyone here, whether you are a guest or an established business partner, if I say anything that jars a question or a comment or a direction in which you'd like to take the call, please feel free. There will always, in my opinion, be things to say about how excited I am with IML, but I would much rather tailor this conversation to your wants, your needs, your desires, the information that you want to know most. So please feel free to, at any time, unmute, ask me a question. Feel free at any time to put in the chat, this is my question, this is my comment, this is what I would like to talk about. So let me tell you exactly why Dr. Craig Bythewood, AKA Dr. B, is so excited about this iMarkets Live opportunity. Well, our journey starts 25 years ago in 1994. I was 26 years old and I graduated from the University of Florida with my doctorate in finance after attending Howard University and getting a bachelor's of business administration in finance. So I've studied finance for, at that point, 9 years, and I was very excited to begin my career. So one of the things that I felt extremely strong about at that moment was I wanted to make sure that I taught myself how to invest. Everything I learned over those 9 years was in a book. Everything that I've been exposed to was in an article. Everything was formula-based, was quantitative-based. So it was so important to me that I get the opportunity to take all of this knowledge and apply it. I wanted to apply it in what I consider to be unique investment markets. And I also wanted to apply it in being able to help people to be in the best. I am very comfortable saying that I was raised by a single mother. And there were times when I watched my single mother go through financial tribulations. So it was very important to me that I put myself in a position where I could do something different, that I could show my mom a different way of living, that I could show my children a different way of living. So 26 years old, PhD in finance. I wanted to invest in two markets. I wanted to invest in the options market, and I wanted to invest in the foreign exchange market. So I knew then that these were markets that were unique, and I knew then that everyone gravitates to the stock market, but that the stock market is not always the best place to invest. It's just the place that you hear about. It's just the place that you talk about. And the place that is the most popular is not always the best place to be. The scenario that everybody's doing is not necessarily that I invest in unique markets that I knew had staying power. And again, the options market, and more importantly, the foreign exchange market. So here's something that I did. I put myself in a holding pattern without realizing it. I wanted to make sure that I knew what to do. I wanted to make sure that I did my due diligence. I wanted to make sure that I understood the way in which the financial markets work. So I began to study. I began to train myself in the inner workings of the foreign exchange market. How does it work? What do you do? Why is it here? Why is it working? Why will it continue to work? How do I put myself in the best position to be a foreign exchange investor? Well, after 10 years of studying, 10 years of putting myself in the position where I was in the lab, so to speak, doing my due diligence, I finally was ready to apply this knowledge. So I put together a team. I put together a mastermind group, other individuals that were trained academically, consulting, and organizationally in finance, in economics, in the financial markets. So what we did was we put together a business plan. This business plan was very efficient. It was very effective. It was very well put together. This was our way of going to the market and saying, look, we're here as an investment group and we're ready to invest. So one of the things that you have to do, and I'm specifically talking to our guests today, one of the things that you have to do when you invest in any financial market is you have to identify what is called a broker. A broker is simply a fancy financial market term that describes an intermediate, an individual that is a go-between, a middleman between the two sides of investing. Let me give you a perfect example. So I am at a basketball tournament right now, and I'm coaching girls. And one of the young ladies hurt her ankle. So she said to me, I need some tape so that I can tape my ankle tomorrow. So I got in my rental car and I drove to Kroger. I'm in Atlanta. So when I get to Kroger, I ask, where do you have athletic tape? They tell me. I walk down the aisle, I pick up the tape, I pay for it, and I get in my rental car and come back to my hotel. It was very easy. It was very seamless. Now think about it. There's a manufacturer that makes athletic tape. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they're located. I don't know how long it takes for them to make it. So it would be a hassle for me to find the individual that makes athletic tape. Guess what? The athletic tape producer does not know me, does not know that I happen to be in Atlanta, does not know that the young lady happened to hurt her ankle. So there are two sides to this scenario that would not easily meet on their own. So guess what? Kroger comes and becomes a market. They become a marketplace. They become a supermarket. Literally, Kroger is the broker between the coach that wants to help the player and the athletic tape producer that wants to sell the tape. That is exactly what happens in financial markets. There's someone who wants to buy a security, there's someone who wants to sell a security, but there has to be a marketplace. And that marketplace is the broker. So anytime you do any financial transaction, whether you realize it or not, whether you see it, whether it's on your receipt or not on your receipt, you have to deal with an intermediary or, again, a broker. So what we did as a mastermind group was we went in front of brokers and we said, hey, brokers, we are ready. We're the financial investment group, and we're ready to invest in foreign exchange. I remember that day like it was yesterday. Because after we had on our suits and we were all ready to do our foreign exchange investing, we were told that in order for us to invest, we would have to have a minimum balance in our investment account of $1 million. And hear me, I visited several brokers. And one broker actually told me I had to have $3 million in my investment account in order to invest in foreign exchange. So there are two things at work here. One thing is that was 15 years ago, and the technology has changed tremendously. The other force that's out there is that the founders of iMarkets Live were wise enough and cared enough about us to create a very easy platform where you can do exactly what I wanted to do 15 years ago. So that at that moment, I was certain that my dream to invest in the foreign exchange market died that day. But in reality, it was not dead. It was only deferred. Because hear me, it only took me 13 minutes of hearing about the iMarkets Live experience before I signed on the dotted line. I jumped at the opportunity to join this company. Why? Because you mean to tell me that I have an opportunity to be able to do now, to do today, on a daily basis, what I wanted to do 15 years ago? And think about this. At that moment, it would have cost me $1 million to do the foreign exchange investing that I wanted to do. But you, my friends, are cared enough about the individual that invited you to this call that you can do exactly that for $250. Let's just let that sink in for a second. It would have taken me $1 million to do it, but you can do it for $250. And the way this company is set up is so easy that if you find two individuals who are like-minded like you, and they're interested in doing the same thing, then you will never, ever pay a monthly fee to be a member of IML. And keep in mind that every single dollar that you make investing and trading belongs to you. There's a broker, but it's not IML. So literally, it's set up. Well, all IML does is create the technology, create the platform, and allow you to trade. Dr. B, 15 years ago, $1 million. You honored guest today, $250. Let me tell you something that I did when I first joined this company. It was very important to me that I vet, V-E-T-T, the IML educational platform. By definition, by trade, by nature, I am an educator. And it's important to me that information is presented in a way that is user-friendly to whoever's listening to it. The more user-friendly information is, the better you're going to be able to apply it, internalize it, and use it in your life. So I wanted to challenge the IML Academy. IML Academy is the educational platform that this company has in place that has very short user-friendly trainings that allows you to build your knowledge base. There's an African proverb that says, how does an ant eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. That African proverb comes to mind when I think about the way IML is set up, because the IML Academy educational platform has little bite-sized nuggets that allows you to be able to learn a little bit at a time. The way in which we create this subset of the company is we suggest that you start off with just 1 through 4. So you do 1 through 4, and then you go and do 5 through 8. Then later on, you do 9 through 12. You just put yourself in a position where you do a little bit at a time, and after a very short amount of time, you will be in a position where you'll know all the mechanics that you need to be able to learn. So here's something I want you to think about. When I did that research, I asked myself this question: how long would it take for an individual that has never been exposed to this information to understand it? Meaning, how many total hours, if an individual began doing 1 through 4 right now, how many total hours would it take of training before they would be comfortable enough to be able to do their own trading? And after asking that question and doing my research to answer that question, I came up with this answer: 10 hours. 10 total hours in order for you to study. I don't mean 10 hours at a time. I mean 10 total hours, you would be comfortable enough to be able to invest. Now, for those of you who may be thinking, wow, 10 hours is a long time, let's really put this in perspective. The finance doctor, the guy with the PhD in finance who wanted to do the same thing, how long did he take preparing himself and doing his due diligence educationally? 10 years. So you mean to tell me that you can do in 10 hours what I did in 10 years? So the opportunity here is extremely clear and extremely powerful. You have an opportunity, honored guest, to be able to, for $250 and 10 hours, do what I did in 10 years and $1 million. This is literally a crazy opportunity. And I would have been doing it by myself, where of course I had my mastermind team, but I mean that there was not a company that gave a platform to give me the methodology to do so. You now have a company that has set up a situation where not only do you have an educational platform in what we call IML Academy, but they also have further methodologies for you to learn more in what they call IML TV. IML TV is a scenario where we have actual experts who put themselves in a position where they will tell you and talk to you about their trades. Then you have several methodologies, which you'll hear about later, which give you an opportunity to be able to trade. So there's not just one way to trade. There are multiple ways to trade. And it's almost as if the individuals who founded this company studied the same information I studied. Because in education, we're taught that the best way to teach a group of people is to provide different platforms of the same information. And the more platforms you provide, then the higher the chance that one individual will be able to find the way that works best for them. And most individuals will utilize all of the different strategies, and it creates a more well-rounded learning situation. Now, let me tell you a story ripped from the headlines of my life. I'm here in Atlanta at a basketball tournament because my daughter is going into her senior year and playing her last AAU basketball tournament ever as a point guard. Well, she also plays flag football. And she did very well this year in flag football. She broke school records for interceptions and interceptions for a touchdown. A very, very high quality athlete, my daughter. And I say that to say this. When she plays flag football, I'm a pretty active dad, I would go to every single one of her practices. And one of the things I noticed is that every practice was exactly 2 hours long. This school did pretty well. They ranked number 20 in the state of Florida at the end of the season. And they had a very regimented practice schedule where from the beginning of practice to 90 minutes later, they would do drills. And they would do the same drills over and over and over and get them right and perfect them. Then the last 30 minutes of practice, that was the part that was enjoyable. That's when they actually put on the flags and they played actual games, they scrimmaged. So my point to you is, I thought it was very efficient that this well-oiled machine did it the same way every practice. We practice for 90 minutes and then we play. We practice for 90 minutes and then we play. It doesn't matter how many games they won. At one point they were undefeated. It didn't matter. They still practiced for 90 minutes and then they played the game. So I say that to say this. That well-oiled machine reminds me of the well-oiled machine that we have in iMarkets Live. Because iMarkets Live understands the beauty of that concept. And when you join IML, the first thing you do is you do drills. The first thing you do is you practice. Before you actually play in the foreign exchange market, you're going to use a demo account. So they have it where you get an opportunity to do your drills over and over and over again. And to do your drills over and over and over again. I've got the IML Academy, which is an educational platform. I have the IML TV, which allows me to get one-on-one training. I have different methodologies, the harmonic scanner, the web, different view of how to know what the best trade to be in is. And I can do all of that, but I do it with drills and practice first before I actually go and play. So I really am impressed with not only the opportunity that I have to do what I've wanted to do all my life, but I'm even more impressed with the fact that this company has done an outstanding job of putting it together. Now, let me give you something else to look forward to. We are, when I say we, I mean my business partners and myself, the individuals that are represented by this call and more. We represent a business within the business. We represent a company within the company. And day by day, week by week, month by month, I continue to be thoroughly impressed with the way in which we provide infrastructure. So this information can be disseminated, and this information can be practiced, and it can be reinforced and internalized so that we have to be successful. It's so easy that all you have to do is show up. All you have to do is be present, and you'll be in a position where you understand. One of the things I say to my teenagers all the time, when I say my, I mean not just the ones that belong to me, but also the ones I coach. Teenagers are really good to assume things.
Dr.
And when
Bythewood.
they assume things, they just don't do something because they assume. And oftentimes visualization them rather than stand up, predict what's going to happen. Let me
Dr.
do
Bythewood.
something and see if that helps. I sound better now?
Okay, there you go. Now we lost you.
Yes, I'm talking, but I guess you don't hear me.
I can hear you
Give
now,
me,
and that's
oh,
clear.
you can hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
You hear me okay now?
That's better. Okay, just let's give him a minute to see if he comes back on. He did mention that he was having some Wi-Fi connectivity issues in the beginning. So this is our power-packed evening, our power-packed Tuesday. And what we've been hearing is a talk with the finance doctor. I just want to give him just a moment to connect, and then I will clarify and I will go over to kind of highlight some of the things that he was just discussing. Dr. Bythewood has just rejoined us. Dr. Bythewood, are you able to?
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you now, but we cannot see you, but that is fine.
me? Can you hear me?
Yes. I think we are losing you again, Dr. Bythewood. Okay, everyone. As you can see, that he, like you said, he was having some connectivity issues. He is traveling, but what this shows is the dedication to the team. This shows the dedication that our business partners has to our success, because this is a talk with the finance doctor, and he is traveling with his family and with his daughters, but yet he still is taking the time to come onto this call, and he's dedicated to our success. Dr. Bythewood, are you back with us?
I hope so. Can
Yes,
you hear
there.
me?
Yes, there you are.
Excellent, excellent. So listen, I value everyone's time to a very strong degree. So I apologize for that interruption. So I do want to make sure that the flow is maintained. So would someone please either say or type in the chat the last thing you heard me say prior to the breaking up beginning? Okay, I tell you what, I'll just pick up where I think I left off, and then hopefully everything will be fine. So what I'm saying to everyone is that this iMarkets Live is impressing me in every way. And the last thing that I remember talking about was how impressed I am with the infrastructure that our company within the company, our business within the business, our division, so to speak. So the individuals that are on this call and a large group of other ones that we consider to be business partners within IML, we do an outstanding job of creating an infrastructure where it puts us in the best position to succeed. So one of the things that I say to teenagers all the time, because teenagers like to predict things and assume things, and they may or may not take action based on what they assume. So one of the things I say to them is, rather than stand on the sideline and predict what's going to happen, be on the field and be prepared no matter what happens. Rather than stand on the sideline and predict what you think is going to happen, be on the field and be prepared no matter what happens. So that quote that I use for teens really reminds me of this opportunity, this situation. Because the infrastructure, honored guests, that we've put into place is so effective that literally all you have to do is be on the field. All you have to do is show up. All you have to do is be present, and you will be successful. We've created an infrastructure in terms of the business building. One of the things that our business partner, Gerald D. Rogers, says all the time is that recruiting is a team sport, and he absolutely lives that philosophy. And in terms of the trading, we just had a training call Tuesday at 9 from Pastor Isaac Bird, and we have the same thing on Thursday where we actually do live trading. So the infrastructure that's here is just so incredible. Again, all you have to do is show up. All you have to do is be on the field, and you will be prepared to be successful in this company and in this scenario. And I think that let me pause and say this. I am a huge fan of success. I am a huge fan of individuals who are out there doing it. What is it? Whatever your it is. Those who are walking the walk, talking the talk, who are taking those steps. If you did not catch it, when I'm talking about my 10 years of doing due diligence, I'm not proud of that. I literally put myself on hold because I could have done in 10 hours what I did in 10 years. So I said all that to say this. I am extremely proud, impressed, and complimentary of our business partner, Pastor Isaac Bird, who has just released a new album. So I'd like to publicly, during a talk with the finance doctor, congratulate him and tell him how proud I am from a peer and from a future listener of those tunes, because he played a few of them last week. So Pastor Bird, much congratulations to you, and all of those of you who were not aware of that, make sure that you check out the third album of Pastor Isaac Bird. Okay, so what I'm saying to you from an IML perspective is very simple. This is an opportunity that there's no way for it to be a miss. This is a situation where it will be successful. All you have to do is make the decision to be a part of this. All you have to do is follow the easy to follow, duplicatable strategy that we put in place, and you will be successful. Now, one of the things that I talked about in the beginning of the call was that it was important to me that we do things in a way that puts us in the best position, that we do things that are different. So I gave the example of my mother. I talked about the fact that as a son, only child of a single mom, I watched her go through things. And it was important to me that I do things differently. So I had a conversation with a colleague this morning. And one of the things that the colleague said to me was, I don't understand why we challenge things that we've been doing for centuries. If we've been doing it for centuries, then that means that it's okay, because my parents or my grandparents, they did it and they survived to 80, 90 years old, so they're okay. And just to give you a quick tangent so that you can put this comment that I'm making into perspective, we were talking about milk. And I made the comment that we're the only animal that drinks the milk of another animal. And I talked about the fact that cow's milk should be utilized for baby cows, just like breast milk should be used for baby humans. And so the person was making the argument that if we've done it for thousands of years, and that means it's okay. So the way I look at it is, it's now time to make new paradigms. It's time for us to put ourselves in positions where we do things not because it's been done, but because it's the right thing. It's the thing that's right for us. It's the truth. You know something? If you really think about it, if you really just relax, take a deep breath, meditate for 5 minutes, and ponder this question, you can always tell truth. Truth always resounds inside of you. You just get this feeling that you don't have any background information, but if you really are in a place of stillness and you're connected to God, you will know when you hear truth. So I say all that to say this. There's a philosophy that I use to live my life. And I think this philosophy is very synonymous with the way in which iMarkets Live is set up. So please allow me to share this with you. So I'll go ahead and admit that those of you that are business partners have heard this story before, but I really want our guests to walk away with this concept. About 8 years ago, I had the opportunity to do a sermon/speech at a Men's Day program at a church in Clearwater, Florida. When the sermon was over, I had my 3 daughters with me, and they were very young. They were car seat age at that time, and they were hungry. Daddy, we're hungry. Daddy, we're hungry. So what I did was I drove down a street in Clearwater called Highway 60. If you've ever been to Clearwater Beach, that's the street where that goes into Clearwater Beach, just voted the #1 beach in America. So I'm going down Highway 60, and we decide to eat at a place called Smoky Bones. So I turn into Smoky Bones, we eat, the dinner is over, it's time for me to go home. Well, you can imagine after a full day of speaking and then eating, barbecue. I was tired and I was ready to go home. The kids were irritated. They were whining. We want to go home. We want to go home. So I got in my truck and I began to drive. Now, I want you to picture this. This is a visualization for you. I turned out of the Smoky Bones parking lot. And in order for me to get to the place to turn on 60, hear me, I would have to turn right on Highway 60 to go back to Tampa. I would have to turn right. But coming out of the Smoky Bones parking lot, I had to turn left in order to get to the edge of Highway 60. So as I came out of the Smoky Bones parking lot, there were 14 cars lined up, leaving out of this huge shopping plaza, and they were going to turn right onto Highway 60. So I want you to picture this. My car's here. Highway 60's here. So of course, I want to do this so I can turn right. But in order for me to go here, there are 14 cars lined up. Each one of those cars wanted to do what I wanted to do. They wanted to turn right and go to Tampa or go wherever they were going. So as I was sitting there, I said to myself, I'm going to have to turn right and become the 15th car, because there's no way that my big SUV is going to get into this space in order to turn left. So I'm going to have to turn right and become the 15th car. So as I sat there, pondering the situation, thinking about how tired I was, dreading my drive back to Tampa, I heard a still voice say to me with clarity, practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. And in that moment, I knew what was being said to me. And at that moment, I took my truck, and instead of, now hear me, I'd already begun to turn right. My truck was already in this direction. I straightened up. I drove in between the third and fourth car. I drove to Jared's Jewelers, which was right next door. I turned in front of Jared's. I made a right turn on Highway 60, and I began to go home. As I was driving down Highway 60, I could still see in my rear view mirror the 14 cars. The 14 cars were still there as I turned right onto Highway 60. And at that moment, it occurred to me that this is an analogy for life. There are so many people that stand in lines of inefficiency, doing the same things that everybody else does. I know for a fact that at least this concept has resonated with my daughters, because 2 days ago, my 14-year-old said to my 13-year-old, well, I'm not going to stand in a line of inefficiency. So I know they heard me. But I hope you're hearing me. Because in how many situations do we do things just because other people do them? That we follow the same pattern just because everybody else does it. How many lines of inefficiency are we standing in? Well, I have to have a job. I have to go to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. Do you really have to do the same thing that everybody else does? Or can you take an advantage to do what I did? I went in a different direction. There's a way for you to go in a different direction, and it starts tonight. Because tonight is the night that you, honored guests, can become an iMarkets Live member. You can become a part of our subsection of IML. You can become a part of our company within the company, where all you have to do is get on the field and you're automatically prepared for success. Do you want to continue to stand in lines of inefficiency, going from paycheck to paycheck, putting yourself in a situation where you're doing the same things you've been doing with the same results? You know what we call that. So maybe tonight's the night that you go in a different direction. So guests, I want to thank you for your attention, and I want you to thank the person that cared enough about you to invite you to this call. Thank you very much, and let me turn it back over to Tasha Dyer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bythewood, for sharing the information that you shared with us this evening. And I also want to thank you because you are out with your daughters right now. You are out with your family, but to still take the time to be with us this evening, to help the team. This is true teamwork. This is dedication. And this is dedication to us. Everyone on this call, like I said earlier, this shows true dedication to everyone, to us as individuals. So Dr. Bythewood, thank you for what you have brought to us this evening. And what I want to do for everyone that is on the call, I want to bring to you all some clarity. I want to bring a visual to what he was just sharing with us. So just give me a moment as I pull this up. So my name is Tasha M. Dyer. And what I want to share in the company and everything that Dr. Bythewood has been talking about is called iMarkets Live. Now, what he's been discussing and what we're here to help you do is transition yourself from working from your money as an employee mindset to where you actually begin and position yourself to where your money works for you. And you see that in the cash flow quadrant. Now, what is Forex? What is the foreign exchange market? The foreign exchange market is literally where you trade one currency for another. This market literally doesn't close. It's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, when you think about this market, it's at $5.3 trillion a day. And with the addition of cryptocurrency, it's trading at over $11 trillion a day. So you have the capability from your cell phone, from any electronic device, to where you can literally become your own bank. You can literally begin earning income from your electronic device. Now, what is iMarkets Live? iMarkets Live is literally that first-class educational platform. That's what we are. 5 years. The company has been around for 5 years, and we're global. So a global operating in over 120 countries, debt-free. So our services are ours, okay? And this is an educational platform. Now, when we talk about leadership, what makes our leadership unique? Our CEO, Chris Terry, has been in this industry and in this space. He's been trading for over 25 years. So when you have someone with that credibility, when you have someone with that history and that resume, he decided that, you know what? I want this to be affordable. I want to make this education. I want to bring this to the average person. I want this available to everyone. So what he did is he put together a board of directors. He put together a corporate leadership team that has made this company what it is today with only 5 years. And then we have our leadership team. So when you look at Mr. Gerald D. Rogers, who it has been tremendously successful in the traditional sense of business, as well in the direct sales industry, and also as a published author. You look at Dr. Craig Bythewood, who we just heard from today, a gentleman with a PhD in finance. And in this power-packed evening, we have Pastor Isaac Bird, who is also a national recording artist whose album was released today, but yet he was on this call this evening, the day of his album release, teaching us trading, talking to us about trading. This is our corporate leadership team. This is our team, our BYOB, our Be Your Own Bank leadership team. So, but what makes iMarkets Live unique? What makes us unique is, first and foremost, I have to give you the disclaimer that your results are not guaranteed. But the difference is you trade. We do not handle your investments. You are learning a skill set that will be with you for life. We do not earn money off of your trades. And there is no limitation on how many trades you can enter or exit at any time. That's what makes us unique, because the goal is to empower, enrich, and educate. That is the goal. So you have a skill set to where you become your own bank, you multiply your income. That is the skill set that you have. Now, how do we do that? We do that with our iMarkets Live Academy. That's where it begins. So whether you've heard of Forex before, or you have been in this industry where you have some idea or you know about it, this platform is for everyone. It's going to take you from pre-K to advanced. This is for everyone. So it's in multiple languages. This, you are going to learn from experts. That's what this platform is. And then we have iMarkets Live TV. This is where you actually get to interact with the experts. So you get you get to increase your chances of success. That's exactly what iMarkets Live TV. And let's say you can't make a live session, they actually have these sessions recorded. Then we have tools such as the harmonic scanner. Now, what is the harmonic scanner? The harmonic scanner scans the market for precise entry points. It scans the market for your entry point, your exit point. It gives you your take profit, your stop loss. It increases your accuracy anywhere from 85 to 90%. That's what it does for you. And then we also have the web analyzer. What the web analyzer is, it kind of is tailored to your personality. So, but it scans the market for precise entry points. So you get to set your trade up on precision, because precise entry point, your entry point is very critical to your success. Then what we have is our swing trades. Our CEO, 25 years in the industry, is still trading. He sends out weekly alerts. And then on Sunday evening, he does his night owl where he still is trading. So he is still vested in the success of our company. He is still invested in the success of you as an individual. And then we have swipe trades. All you have to do, these are alerts. You get alerts. So all you have to do is be able to copy and paste. This is for the foreign exchange market. And then we have what's called coin trades. So cryptocurrency is your thing. Guess what? All you have to do is be able to copy and paste, because we get coin trade alerts as well. So copy and paste. You can earn while you are learning. And then the training and support. You definitely get training and support. This has been a power pack call this evening. The call at 9 p.m. has been our training and support. And we have a schedule set up throughout the week to help develop and enrich you. That is what we do. Now, how do you get started? How do you take advantage of this? So you're going to get everything: the IML Academy, TV, harmonic scanner, and the daily swing trades. And when you add the swipe trades and the web analyzer and the swipe coin, you're going to get that for $225, and you're going to get that for $225 for your initial fee. Now, all of that you'll get at $250 per month. Now, what else do you get? You get the 2 and free, because you share this information with 2 individuals. Share this information with 2 paying customers. We share information that's good. Anytime we get excited about anything, we share that information. So what iMarkets Live is going to do is they are going to reward you. They're going to reward you for sharing this information. So when you actually share that information, you're going to get that, and they're going to waive your monthly subscription. Now, what I'm going to share with you from here on out is completely optional. It is completely optional. Everyone up until this point had the opportunity to be your own bank, to learn a new skill set, to learn to multiply your income. Now, from here is optional. What I'm discussing right now is the opportunity to earn residual income as well. Excuse me, to earn residual income as well. And this is how you become an independent business owner. As an independent business owner, you position yourself to where you can earn team builder bonuses anywhere from 5, 10 to 50, 5, 10 to $35. And then the residual income. What I want to highlight is the true residual income. So residual income, you share this information, you have 3 customers in your organization. That is going to position you to earn $150 a month. That's $37.50 a week. Now, $150 for 3 customers. What do you have to have in your bank account to earn $150 a month? That is over $100,000. So when you think about residual income, I want you to think about the fact that all you had to do was share this information and show 3 individuals how to BYOB, be their own bank. Then Platinum 600, 12 customers in your organization, that is $600 a month residually. So that is in your organization. And that's not 12 customers that you spoke to, that you helped directly. That's your organization. And then Platinum 1000, that's 30 customers in your organization. That is $1,000 a month. So you have an opportunity, Platinum 2000, where you can earn $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month. But Chairman 10 is 500 customers in your organization. That is $10,000 a month. So what are you going to get? You are going to get leadership. You are going to get support. That is what you're going to get from us. You are going to learn a new skill set that is going to position you for the rest of your life. That is what you're going to get, to learn how to be your own bank. So every time I share this information, there is always 3 types of people. The first person says, you know what? While Dr. Bythewood was speaking, I got all my questions answered. That was it. I was ready to get enrolled. And if that is you, get back to the person that invited you out, because we are excited and we are ready to help position you to be your own bank. Make sure you get with them tonight so you can position yourself to become your own bank. The second person says, you know what? I'm ready to become my own bank because I know for a fact the bank has been using my money, not their money, but they have been using my money. But I do have a few questions. So we will get your questions answered. And when we get your questions answered, get them answered with us. And we will show you how to get enrolled so you can position yourself to do what the banks have been doing with your money already. So you can become your own bank. And the third person says, you know what? I'm ready to learn a new skill set, to multiply my money and become my own bank. But I am also ready to position myself to earn residual income. And to you, I also say welcome to the team, because what we're going to do is we want you to get back with the person that invited you out. We are definitely going to help you, position you, and show you how you can also become your own bank, but also position yourself to where you can begin earning residual income. So with that being said, I want everyone to have a blessed evening. You all have a wonderful evening, and join us this Thursday, because we will be live in the market. We will be at 9 p.m. We are live in the market. We are earning money as a team. And we have a talk with the finance doctor immediately following, a Power Pack Thursday. God bless, and I will see you Thursday.